Good evening.
Good evening, Rabbi Prague. Hi, Rabbi.
Good evening. There's a very interesting pasuk in this week's parasha.
Did you fix the camera, Rabbi
Yeah,
Prague?
yeah, of course. I
Please.
know. The main thing is I know what you mean to fix the camera. So
See, listen.
tonight I'm learning something. Listen, you have to give me some credit.
Yeah. Okay.
It says in this week's parasha is the parasha that we read on Yom Kippur. And basically Hashem tells Aaron that you can come in once a year to Kodesh HaKodashim, and exactly which קורבנות, מה שמעניין מאוד, כתוב ככה, כתונת בד קודש ילבש, ומכנסי בד יהיו על בשרו. Listen to the words. כתונת בד קודש ילבש, כתונת ומכנסי בד יהיו על בשרו. מה זה על בשרו? Of course, where are you wearing your pants? What on your head and your body?
Maybe there can't be a chatzitza.
Oh, yofi, good, very good.
There can be chatzitza anyway. What's the
Listen, good. Listen carefully, very good. So this happens to be a classic example what the Talmud or the Gemara and the Rishonim are. If you have access, please go to Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim, Siman 27, Chav Zayin, L'chot Tfilin. Siman Chav Zayin. Says the Shulchan Aruch as follows.
Rabbi Prague?
Yes.
Before you start, I was learning, and so the Rambam says liot tefillin shel alayad and then the ala rosh and likshor, right? Why does he put tefillin shel rosh before he puts tefillin shel? I know this, but I don't
remember we spoke once about it. So,
I mean, we don't have to do it tonight.
but the general answer is the Gemara says that tefillin shel rosh, the kedusha of the tefillin shel rosh is bigger than tefillin shel yad, and there's no time to go into it because between tefillin shel rosh and tefillin shel yad, you have shin, daled, yud. Yes, you have on your tefillin shel rosh on the two sides the shin. In the back, the kesher is daled. The yud is tefillin shel yad. So the Gemara says that Misham Lachel, this is why you put the Rambam has to write first because you're Ter Kadosh. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Doesn't we learned this not too long ago?
We learned what?
The tefillin. We just learned the tefillin maybe like a couple months ago.
In Menachot,
and they mentioned another reason why the Rosh is more is because it has 4 compartments, separate compartments versus the one, and that's supposed to be more.
But he's so let me ask you, if that's the reason at the Sof Kol Sof, so he should have said Vayula Tafo yeah, why didn't they just put the Totafo Beinecha and then Ukshartama Yadecha? So I mean,
אוקיי, באמת, זו שאלה טובה, if you remember later, the פסוקים are in the summer, or... Anyway, listen carefully to the Shulchan Aruch.
okay, sorry.
The Shulchan Aruch says in סימן כ"ז, סעיף ד', 27, תקשיבו טוב, how from פרשת אחרי מות, which is עבודת יום הכיפורים, we learn to tefillin and we learn fascinating stuff. לא יהא דבר חוצץ בין תפילין לבשרו. You're putting your tefillin on, so you cannot leave your sleeve down and put your tefillin on it.
Right.
The shirt is a chatzitza. You have to make sure you put it tefillin shel yad, your undershirt, fine. כן. לא שנה של יד, לא שנה של ראש. Why does he have to tell me both? We'll see in a minute. So listen to the Mishnah ברורה, דכתיב על ידיך, על ידיך. Huh? Listen carefully with the Rosh. Says the Rosh like this. The Gemara says that the Kohanim, while they are busy doing the Avodah in Beit HaMikdash, are pturim from tefillin. Why? Because if they put the tefillin on, the tefillin is a chatzitza. And as we started the class tonight with the pasuk, that the garments of the Kohen have to be on his besaro, ככה כתוב בגמרא.
But hold on. For a regular Kohen, you're saying there's a chatitza between the misnefet and the tefillin?
מסנפת בתפילין של יד, between the
yad or the rosh?
The Gemara talks about the yad. In a minute we'll
Because
talk
okay, because I thought because they talk about the Kohen Gadol wears the tzitz, there's enough room for the tefillin and the tzitz.
in a minute will come. This is a question on the Rashba, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. Says the Rosh, here, if the Gemara says that the Kohen is patur from tefillin shel yad because it's a chatzitza, so you see from here, you see from this Gemara that when me and you put tefillin, we cannot have a chatzitza, and what we just read in Shulchan Aruch, lo yehei davar chotzetz, is the source, according to the Rosh, is from this Gemara. The Kohanim are patur because if they put it on, it's a chatzitza. But as Salim said before, tefillin shel Rosh, the Gemara doesn't say. The Gemara says the Kohen was wearing the tzitz here on his forehead. The mitznefet on top. Says the Gemara that there was a space on his head between the mitznefet and the tzitz, and there was room there for tefillin shel Rosh. But this is the Rosh. Comes the Rashba, here it is. Comes the Rashba and strongly disagrees with the Rosh. Listen what he says. He says this is not the source. I mean, but obviously it's not the Gemara because otherwise, this is what he says. Give me a second to take out the Ran in Masechet Megillah brings the Rashba. Listen to interesting what the Rashba is saying. The Mishnah that the Rashba is referring is a very known Mishnah because of the context of the Mishnah. Listen to the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, רק רגע, I had a bookmark, חשבתי the bookmark is on this page. Give me half a second. The Mishnah says that if a person wants to put his tefillin on his sleeve, this is the Mishnah. The Gemara says we don't let him be a chazan because זה מדרך המינים. Let me read you בלשון. Why are the minim here? Says the Rashba, the minim understood that ukshartam leot al yadecha means everyone has to see it. So they purposely were putting the tefillin on the sleeve, not under the sleeve. Everyone should see it. But they don't know that our Gemara learns the exact opposite. מה זה והיה לך לאות על ידיך? Yes, והיו, אומרת הגמרא, לך לאות ולא לאחרים לאות. מה פירוש? There is a reason why everyone, after he puts tefillin shel yad, he covers it right away with the sleeve. Why? This Gemara. לך לאות ולא לאחרים לאות. It's only for you, not for others to see. Tefillin shel rosh, everyone can see it. Tefillin shel yad. Says the Rashba, you see from this Gemara that you cannot put your tefillin on your sleeve. Why? Because lecha leot, the tefillin is only an ot for you, not for others. So it has to be under the sleeve. Says the Rashba, but there's no pasuk for tefillin shel rosh. There's no pasuk. So says the Rashba, if you have a hat in the winter, the Rashba is using this example. You can put your tefillin on your head, as long as it's on your head. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, someone had to undergo they had to measure his brain waves, and a huge machine on his head. Not only Rashba says you can put your tefillin on them, and it's on your head. Big machloket Rashba and Ran. What is the source of tefillin shel yad? But we follow the Rosh. Except if a man has a bad cold or something, then Mishnah Berurah says you can put your tefillin shel rosh on a bandage, you can put it on your head, but if you're Ashkenaz, don't make a bracha. Don't make a bracha means when you make the bracha on tefillin shel yad, have in mind the shel rosh. Ashkenazim do two brachot. Al shel yad, and I have in mind the shel rosh, plus the shel rosh. Right?
Rabbi Pagis, if you have a chatzitza, is that ma'akev?
So here, on shel yad, everyone agrees yes. Which means, if mistakenly, I have long sleeve undershirts, winter and summer. Yes? So every morning after I unroll my sleeve, I push one half of my under. Let's say I didn't realize I was too tired. Later, when I go to take it off, I see that my tefillin shel yad were under the undershirt. I have to make a new bracha and I have to put it again, because I did not fulfill it. And listen now, let's go back to Yom Kippur. It's fascinating. Listen. You remember on Yom Kippur when we read the Seder Avodah? So the Kohen on Yom Kippur has to go to the mikveh 5 times. And Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim he does 10 times. every time, you hear this? Every time, okay, if you want specifically, the Mishnah in Perek Gimel, Mishnah Dalet says, as he comes out from the tefillah, mistapeg, he has to wipe himself. And then he's wearing the clothes. Can you tell me why is the Mishnah saying it? I mean, each one of us, you take a shower.
Could
You
water
swim
be a
in the swimming
chatzitza?
pool. Ah, you hear what he says? Comes the Mishnah.
Could it be a chachitzitara? But it goes away. It dries. How can it be a chachitzitara?
Chacham Salim, in the summer, you swim in a swimming pool, and you sit in the sun for 5-7 minutes, it dries out.
Right.
Yom Kippur in September, it's in Beit HaMikdash, and the Kohen has to rush to do the avodah that the entire nation is looking for.
No, I understand. I'm saying, I understand why he has to dry, because
why is the Mishnah Salim?
what I'm saying is, how can something be a chatita when it's eventually not going to be there? It's not like I have a
okay. You're coming up with a new idea. So according to you, every time I have a red color on my hands and my
right.
I'm going to take a shower that night and I'm going to.
But that's a difference. The
so
other one is.
You learned enough times. יש מיעוט הוא מקפיד, מיעוט ואינו מקפיד. רוב הוא מקפיד, רוב ואינו מקפיד. The only requirements are you makpid or not? The Gemara says if you are a painter and you have some, some marks on your hands and this, fine. It's not a problem for you because this is your derech.
Right.
But your svara is a new svara. So no one.
No. It could be also makpid part, but what I'm saying is, it's like the water is going to either dry up and become gas.
Okay.
Right. So you can't tell me. You can't tell me it's like something that's physical, that's there, that's going to be there, and it's going to create a chatzitza.
I'm reading you. Open Rambam, Perek Bet, Halacha Bet, Milchot Avodat Yom HaKippurim. Bet.
Wait 1 second, Rabbi.
We're looking at the Rambam because the Rambam copies the Mishnah. Salim, if you have it, bet. Sefer Avodah.
He said.
Sefer Avodah, Ilchot Avodat Yom HaKippurim. Perek Bet, Halacha Bet. Listen to the Rambam. Kol et sheyeshane abgadim. Every time the Kohen Gadol is changing, ויפשוט בגדים וילבוש בגדים אחרים, טעון טבילה. He has to dip in the mikveh. שנאמר, הוא פשט את בגדי הבד, ורחץ את בשרו במים במקום קדוש, ולבש את בגדיו. 5 טבילות, 5 times it goes to the mikveh כיפור, ו10 קידושים, טובל כהן גדול ומקדש בו ביום. 5. כיצד, listen to this. We're not going to read all the Rambam, but it's fascinating. Please listen. בתחילה, this is early in the morning, יום כיפור, פושט בגדי החול שעליו, טובל, עולה, comes up from the mikveh, הוא מסתפק, and he wipes himself. ולובש בגדי זהב, מקדש ידיו, fine. 2 lines later, then he switches from בגדי זהב to בגדי לבן, the Rambam says, ועולה, הוא מסתפק ולובש. 5 times. Every time the Rambam says, he dips in the mikveh, you wipe it. Are you teaching me now how to? And of course the Rambam copies the Mishnah, yes. Says the Mishnah LaMelech right there. Says the Mishnah LaMelech, one of the main commentators on the spot. והנה ספוג זה הוזכר בגמרא במקומות הרבה. סלים, ולא מזכיר, וכל שמזכיר תפילת כהן גדול, ולא ראיתי למפרשים אם זה חיוב, או רוחא דמילתא נקט. Is he just telling me the fact? Every time I shower, I wipe. Is this the Mishnah 5 times? Is the Rambam telling me? Says the Mishnah LaMelech, ומדברי רבינו דקאמר ומסתפק משמע דחיוב ההוא, חיוב ההוא, why? ונראה דחיוב זהו משום דקיימא לן, דאפילו נימה, one hair on his body, או עפר, a pebble, או speak, אם הייתה בין בשר לבגד, הרי זו חציצה ועבודתו פסולה. וכמו שכתב רבינו בפרק י' מכלי המקדש. ולפי זה, fine. Good. Here it is. Comes the Mishnah LaMelech and tells us that the reason why the Mishnah emphasizes it and the Rambam copies it 5 times, it's not, you must do it. Because otherwise the water is okay, later he says maybe the water is dirty, so you have some.
No, he doesn't say the water. He says Shema b'tefillah nidbak b'basaro me'afrot hamayim, not the mayim itself. The afar the mayim. He never says mayim is chatzitza.
The dirt is the water.
Right, but that's why my point is I never, like, if you think about it very clearly, Rabbi.
My friend, good.
How can you ever dip in the mikveh if you have a little bit of water?
Salim, my mikveh and your mikveh, Baruch Hashem. This is Kohen Gadol v'Yom Kippur. This now he continues. ואף בנעימה אין לחוש לזה, הרי כתב רבינו שצריך להיזהר שלא תיכנס הרוח בשעת עבודה בין בשרו לבגדו, עד שיתרחק הבגד לעליו. Here,
what is he? I didn't
if the wind blows and the beged blows into his sleeve, so his garment
is flowing,
is removed from his body, from his hand. Says the Rambam, be careful. Why? Because you're ופשיטא דלא גרעי מים מרוח. ואם כן סלים, צריך לספוג, he has to wipe, משום דשמא המים יהיו מבדילים בין הבגד לבשר. ומשום הכי, כאמר רבינו, here a דיוק חידוש of the Mishnah LaMelech. Now, Salim, listen carefully now. Comes the Chida, you hear now? Comes the Chida and says, how did we start today? How does the Rosh know? According to the Rosh, how do we know that the tefillin cannot have a chatzitza? We learn it from Aaron. We learn it from the Kohen. If the Kohen is patur from tefillin because the tefillin is a chatzitza, and it says al besaro, says the Rosh, so every chatzitza you have on your body. Comes the Chida, Salim, and says, you took a shower and your hair is wet, says, don't put your tefillin on. Why? Because you see that the Mishnah LaMelech says it's a chatzitza. Yes? Okay, in reality, it doesn't happen very often. Okay, by me, definitely not, because I don't have this problem. But there's a Salim, Baruch Hashem, ככה הוא אומר, תשמע, but you hear, it's a beautiful, again, we learn חציצה בתפילין של יד, from the Kohen. And בכהן, the Mishnah LaMelech says in פרק ב' הלכה ב', that water is a חציצה, so water should be חציצה here. All the Mefarshim are asking him, Mavhil Kushia, Erev Pesach, in Beit HaMikdash, tens of thousands of korbanot, says the Gemara, the Kohanim used to walk in the blood was on the floor. So says the Gemara, how can you do the avodah? You have to be standing on the floor of the Azara, and there are hundreds of gallons of blood there. Says the Gemara, no, liquid is not a chatzitza. How can זה לא קושייה סתם, זה קושייה עצומה.
Yeah, if liquid's
How
not
can
a
the
cut,
משנה למלך, אבל זה באמת קושייה, זה לא סתם
No,
קושייה.
no, no. I understand. They talk about it, right?
לא, אבל אתה מבין, זה לא רק זה, this is the משנה.
The Gemara talks about it.
זה משנה למלך, זה משנה למלך, אני אקרא לך לשון הגמרא here.
Maybe the chatitza is different when it comes to different things. There's a chatitza for the floor, and there's a chatitza for the clothes. Maybe, I don't know.
ברכי יוסף, רב חידה, says סימן ריש יוד, סימן כ"ז, yes, חציצה. בגמרא says שחיטת הפסח, בעלי דם. שואלת הגמרא אם כן הווה חציצה, דבר לך ליכוד אינו חוצץ. תשמע דבר יפה מאוד.
Okay, and why? And why? What do they give the reason? Why is
לא,
liquid
כתוב
not?
בגמרא, לא, normally, I mean, I can demonstrate it, but if you try to put some drops of water and put anything on it, the tefillin are still on your head. Okay, the area is wet. The Kohen is obligated to stand on the floor of the Azara. He is standing. It's not that if he's standing on an item, the Gemara says, okay, you're not standing on the floor.
Right, he can't stand on his friend's feet or his whatever.
נכון.
Right, but you can't stand.
Yes, Salim, good.
So I get water because again maybe I made this up, but maybe nobody talks because water is going to evaporate. But things like oil or blood, why shouldn't they be chatitza? Those things don't evaporate, and you could feel them. They're like there, and they don't get
because
out.
they're thick.
Right, they're thicker, and you have to wash them off.
So now you're making the question bigger.
Right, why is that?
The Gemara says that even the blood, which is really thick, doesn't
Right.
count as a chatitza.
For sure, water. Right. That's a bigger question, right?
Because of, the question is too big. So what they're trying to say is as follows. It's a very fine, luminous point. Yeah. If this tissue, okay, no, my sleeve. I'm wearing my sleeve tomorrow morning, I'm putting that tefillin. This is definitely chatitza, right?
no.
I have a bandage on my head, chatitza. Right? They say that what the Mishneh LaMelech meant, even though the language, of course, he's using as a chatitza, he meant something different. When the Torah says that the bgadim have to be al basaro, you hear? Al basaro, if you have water, the beged is not on your basar, not because of chatitza. Chatitza means it's a new halacha. Chatitza, a woman goes to the mikveh, she has to make sure there's nothing on her body. I'm washing my hands to a meal. I have to make sure that there's no dirt, there's no under my nails. Fine. He says it's a new halacha. Al basaro means that the garment has to be on your body. If there is water there, even though it's on your body, but it's not on your body, it's not a chatitza maybe. So they say, as far as the Kohanim standing on the floor of the Azara, filled up with blood, the Gemara says it's not a chatitza. But here, when the Torah is using the phrase al basaro, it's not. You hear a new concept. It's not a chatzitza. Ishma says the Bet HaLevi Salim, a very interesting raya. The Rambam says, Mishneh LaMelech brings, it's a Gemara, that the Kohen Gadol should be careful that the wind is not blowing and his sleeves of his garment is blown from the body. But it's not a chatzitza, Salim.
Right.
זה ראיה חזקה מאוד.
It's a different type of problem.
Yeah. What is the problem? If the
Al
wind is
basaro.
there, it's not a chatzitza, but the garment.
So if Israel is right, then they have to make those clothing tight fitting.
right?
Because
But remember, but
it would be a
I
moment
know,
where
but
it's
they
not
didn't,
al
Salim, but they didn't have every Kohen. They had numbers. You go to buy a suit. He's asking your shoes. What's your size? 9.5, triple
Right.
E. What's your size? 44, 38. You know what I mean? So he says, so they say, this says the better Levi, the fact that if the wind blows away your garment even a tenth of an inch, there's no chatzitza there. It's air. There's nothing on my body. And there is, but you have a new halacha that the Torah requires. Michnasei body, you al besaru. Every garment that the Kohen wears has to be on his body. Years ago, you all remember, the style was that the pants, your suit are wider. Today, it looks like someone painted it on your legs, yes? By ladies, of course, but even by men.
No, for sure, Rabbi. They're much. I can tell. I bought suit 10 years ago versus like 4 or 5 years ago. The big difference.
No, but it's much tighter. It's much
Yeah.
tighter. See, they learn that it's a new, which means that according to that, if you learn like this, Salim, the Birkei Yosef is no proof that after you take a heavy shower and your head is really wet, you cannot put your tefillin, you can put your tefillin. This halacha, right? This halacha that al besaro is by Kohen. It says in the Torah, al besaro, but here
Yeah, but this is what you're learning from. How can the halacha be different from what you're learning from? That's the problem. If your only source the tefillin has to be,
but see, this is why the calculation of the Rav Chida is correct. Rosh learns the halachot of chatzitza from Kohanim.
right?
So, or perhaps we are learning from Kohanim the concept, yes, how to apply it, how to apply the concept. Maybe this is the only way to answer it. Yeah.
What other cases there's chatzitza? There's the Kohanim.
Okay, so
there's mikveh.
Give you a good example. You buy an item for metal or glass manufactured by a goy, you have to take it to the mikveh, correct? So if you have a price tag or
right, that's
a tiny price tag, or you have a label made in China or made in France, take it off. Good, chatzitza. Many years ago, I used to live on 59th Street. I was invited to my neighbor. He had a very fancy crystal. Okay, I'm not a big mavin on this stuff. And I see that the label, the name of the manufacturer is under a crystal wine bottle, but on top, not underneath, Orafor. So I told him, quietly, not to say, why didn't you take it off? Says this label makes the price 4 times more than a regular. He said the maker is part of the שומע, שמה זה לא חציצה, you hear Salim?
Yeah.
חציצה is only if the price tag says $50, no one wants to. Yes, if you have dirt on it, so שמה you have חציצה, you have by a woman, you have by תבילת כלים, yes? Then of course you have by tefillin. See, according to this, Salim, when I was a teenager or before, the style was to have very long hair. Talking about many Bachurei Yeshivot have. Now, is this a chatzitza between your head? Oh, no, it's part of your body.
So if a woman goes into mikveh and she's wearing a diamond ring, a wedding ring, was that not chatzitza?
For sure, that's physical.
Of course it's chatzitza.
I'm saying this is like the price tag.
I know, but Salim,
it's substantial.
Definitely. The woman is not going everywhere to display. She wants
you never saw a woman with their rings out.
See, you hear what Salim says? The same way the crystal, Salim, what Jeffrey says.
Yeah.
If a crystal bottle or the aura forest defines what it is, the
Yeah.
diamond that a woman's make sure, Jeffrey, that your wife doesn't hear it. Salim, the size of the diamond defines who you are. It defines who your husband are, yes, or how much money
Listen,
is making, yes.
well, I usually buy the rings for all my sons.
Oh, wow. Very nice of you.
Well, listen, hopefully I'm saving on the wedding, but not always.
But you see, the Mordechai says, the same as the Gemara says, that mi'ut ve'ino makpid, right? If you are in the business of painting houses, says the Gemara that if your hands are a little dirty, it's not chatzitza. He wants to say this is the reason why water is not really a chatzitza. Because it's a mi'ut she'ino makpid. You see, the big problem is the Mishneh Lamelech. Mishneh Lamelech is a very serious commentator, and he has a question on the Mishnah. I mean, 5 times in the Rambam copies it, yes?
You would have a problem in the heat. Let's say somebody in the summer was in a place where the heat and they sweat a lot. So if they put it on you would have sweat. It's the same problem.
By the way, Stam, you should know that the Sofer told me, especially in the summer, okay, remember today most of the shuls or our homes have air conditioning, but it says be very careful. If you sweat and the parchment of the tefillin observes it, eventually it starts to buckle. And I do from time to time, it says to me, before you fold your tefillin, put it in the box, but leave the bottom open and let fresh air dry. Okay, today really that's the price.
Today on the bottom of the tefillin box, there's actually holes for air to come into the box.
Salim, this is exactly the reason, Salim.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, we have tefillin, you have a special bag for the tefillin. But
Right, the bag is going to be the problem.
He suggested to me in the summer, he said, let's say Rosh Chodesh is a good example. Don't fold your tefillin completely, put it in, leave it in the box and leave the box on the bottom open. This way, it doesn't happen very often, but let's say very often in summer, I would take a shower early in the morning. Of course, I dry myself.
Changed his name.
I drive to Sharet Zion or to wherever. When I come sometimes, because of the humidity and all that, my head is sweat. You have to wait till it dries out, or at least to wipe your forehead, because it eventually, look carefully at tefillin of people, you can see that the leather on the bottom is. So למעשה יוצא that according to רוב הפוסקים, water on your head is not a chatzitza, even though according to the Mishneh Lamelech in the Chida, it's definitely yes, because otherwise לא נסתדר עם הגמרא בפסחים, yeah? לא נסתדר עם הגמרא בפסחים. Now tomorrow night, most likely I'm getting my new iPhone, and so most likely I would teach on the road, because my grandson in Lakewood starts to put tefillin Friday morning.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably be on the road. I'm not driving, probably either my wife or my grandson. But Bezrat Hashem will have a class tomorrow night.
It's going to be on the Flatbush Zoom.
I'll let you know tomorrow, because Salim, the school got me an Android. What is the difference between regular iPhone and Android?
No, for Zoom purposes, no change. No difference.
Nothing, right?
No.
I can have internet in the Android.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh, Yofi. Tomorrow they're setting it up. I'm bringing my old phone and they take out.
Do you have
whatever
to
they-
make a
SIM card.
Shechianu on the new phone?
I would say Diana I met. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say the rabbi doesn't get on the air like we do from the
Believe-
phone.
No,
It's
no,
a
the rabbi-
sarot,
Believe me,
it's
I
him.
hope that they would say, listen, you have to have it about שום דבר גמרנו, סגרו לי את הפה, finish. So, בסדר,
But you know what we
בעזרת
have
השם,
to do, Jeffrey and Salim? We have to show the rabbi, like when he has the phone and he's sitting in the car and the Devorah's busy talking on the phone to one of the grandchildren, that he could go onto one of the programs and he could see the Rambam in front of him and all the different
Yeah.
things.
this summer,
It's
this
great
summer,
for
yeah.
us, me and you, Larry. For the rabbi, he needs the book. He doesn't get the Hana'ah unless it's from the book.
Larry, for this summer, I decided, באמת,
You know,
really,
it is a
you
shame,
have to
Rabbi.
learn how to use it.
I gotta
You
tell
got it.
you, when I'm learning with you, I know Larry, I happen to use Allah Torah, but
Okay,
when
right,
you want,
okay.
when you tell me Rambam and this, I have it in a second. It's like
Right.
you can't even
Larry has it
imagine.
too.
It's
Larry has it
Yeah,
too.
no, I
Salim
know,
does
but
it, and Miko could have it. It's or it, you know, today I was learning in the Megillah, in the Perek in Megillah about Yizkah is Sarah. So they say, what is this word Yizkah? What is the meaning? So I want to look at all the
הכל
Yizkah.
שוחים ביופייה.
Yeah, right. So I'm looking up Sacha, but I look at the Shura
Yeah,
Sacha. I can go here, I can go there. But
you can have it even on a small phone, yeah.
sure,
yeah,
everything.
I
You
use
have it
my small
anywhere.
phone.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a
so
lot
this
easier
summer,
with an
באמת,
iPad or something like that because it's easier to see it, but you can do it anywhere.
And then when I
באמת,
don't like, if I don't understand it, I cut and paste the Tosafot into the AI, and it translates it and tells me
don't do
all
it.
the.
זה ג'פרי, לא תרצח, לא
I
תרצח.
only, by the way, I only do it when I'm on class. I won't do
please,
it because I won't be deceived by the sources.
I'm
If it
telling
gives
you
me the
that-
same source as you, I'm okay. If it tells me something
no,
else, then I.
No, but this, remember, we are losing, but the AI is taking away our ability to really analyze a text with you. I mean, this is the idea of reading a text.
No. It takes me to the
translation's
text.
the
I
problem.
read the text. No, I
Right,
read the text.
Right.
I read it. It just gives me the source.
בלי נדר, the summer, לימדו אצל דיינה האמת.
No, it'll open
No, but
up.
I
Listen,
sometimes
Rabbi-
I'm amazed. Like this morning, you had the class, and when I cut and paste, it says it told you that there's a machlota between the Rambam and the Radvad. I was like, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
when
that
they
it
said on the
actually
spot, yeah?
analyzed it.
It's
Yeah.
Rabbi.
It's
What it can do is
crazy. I
unbelievable.
couldn't believe it. I thought it would
Yeah.
just give me a source, but it goes, no, this
No,
is the
it
famous
gives you the
machlokes.
background and everything.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, no, there's no question that it helps a lot. But I'm telling you the but. You are a scholar, so you can hear it. I'm giving you an example. Tonight, in the afternoon, I prepare my daf yomi for 10 today to 6, fine. Well, I prepare. I come to the class, I have a guy that prepares, and he says to me, look, I think the Gemara means this. I told him,
Where'd you get it from?
listen the way he runs to me after class. Okay, at least today I didn't get upset because I anticipated. He shows me, look, the art scroll here says like this. I told him, I know who wrote the art scroll, Matam Sapalima, okay? No, I didn't. It's a Rashba, is it a Rashi? Then he looks at the bottom, this was the English, not the Hebrew. He looks here, he says, oh, the Chazon Ish learns like you. He says, the art scroll should have written the Chazon Ish, because if you understand good the Gemara, I'm not blaming him, it's good that he's asking, but when he points to me the art scroll, it's like the Rashba, I mean, it's the art scroll, you know what I mean?
You
And
know,
I'm
Rabbi
saying,
Prague, I had an uncle who was much older than you, and he started with the computer, and he used to say, the little yidel inside the computer is a Zaya Klig.
Whoa, I translate. I don't
the
understand.
small Jew in the computer is
It's very smart.
He'd be surprised at what it could do today.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll let you know earlier in the evening the way we do it. Have a wonderful night.
Mazel tov, Rabbi.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Rabbi Prague.
Bye.